Typically, women having trouble with their sacral chakra are givers. Hello, my beauties. We are live. Perfect. How are you? How are you doing? How are you doing? I feel really blessed to be here today. I've got my notes on the side, and we are going to talk today about healing the sacral chakra and specifically physical issues. Okay, so we're going to really focus on physical issues. I'm going to give you a quick outline of what I'll cover. We're going to talk about what some of the physical issues that you might have related to that chakra are. So you'll know, talk a little bit about what a chakra is, and then I will give you an overview of approaches that you can take to your own healing path, okay? Now, first I have to say I'm not a physician. That's really important for me to say. And also the first thing I would do is see your doctor, absolutely. See your qualified medical practitioner. That is what I did, okay? And I'll share a bit about my story and my healing journey, how to heal the sacral chakra, specifically of physical issues. So first, you want to know what are the physical issues that relate to the sacral chakra, right? And let me close my computer down here. So what are some of those issues that relate to Svadhisthana, to the sacral chakra? And that was the Percival in the background. I just heard a big thump. So some of the issues are anything to do with the reproductive system, okay? I see he's gonna try to get your attention in the back there. So reproductive issues like fibroids, like endometriosis, heavy periods, anything to do with the reproductive system falls primarily under the purview, the control of the sacral chakra, and is basically reflects that energy system. Let's go on. What is a chakra from the spiritual perspective and tying it together with the physical? So a chakra is an energetic center, okay? There are traditionally 7 of them. Some systems emphasize 5 of them primarily and join some of them together as one system. And then we have more than 7 chakras, but the 7 are the main ones. I always like to give the analogy of, think of in New York City, there's Grand Central Station, which is a huge, beautiful hub everything leads to. All the trains go in there. You can make a lot of transfers and connections. So that's sort of a metaphor for what the chakras are. They're like the big centers. It's a network of energy. It's an energetic thing that we are talking about when we talk about a chakra. It's not something you're going to cut and do surgery and find and remove or put in. It is, think of your physical body. See yourself in your mind's eye, and then in the energy body, the energetics underlying your physical body are the chakras. So they are subtle, okay? They are subtle. They are not literally physical things. And so they also, really important for you to know, they're not just floating in your body energetically. They are part of a network, an intertwined system of pathways. Some systems call these pathways nadis, N-A-D-I, nadis. Another really popular tradition talks about them as meridians. It's really the same thing. They are subtle energy channels through which energy flows. And so the chakras, like I said, are the nexus, the coming together of multiple energy channels. Again, like a big train station where all the different train lines, that would be the energy lines, where they meet. Okay, so it's like a hub. And there were 7 major ones that are the most important to work with. And the other thing you need to know before I go into the specific methods that I'm using to help heal the physical issues related to the sacral chakra, the last thing you need to know is that creation starts with energy. So as we established, the chakras are an energetic phenomena. The problems that we talked about begin with an energy imbalance, okay? They begin with an energy imbalance, and then they come into manifestation into the world as a physical issue. But it began with an energetic issue. And then you might ask, well, what affects the energy? Okay, what affects the energy? Thoughts and emotions. I also believe there are karmic and sometimes ancestral and karmic issues as well. But for most of our purposes, thoughts and emotions, okay, affect our energy, affect how it flows or doesn't flow, affects if it's blocked or open. And so the ideal state is the energy can flow through these channels, through the chakras, and it's like a living energy. It just flows through. It's your specific little manifestation of like universal energy, right? That's why you're alive. Again, when somebody dies, their body is still there, but something is gone, right? Life is gone. The energy, the aliveness is gone. So we're talking about that energy that makes us alive, that flows within the body, all right? We're not talking about the causes or the creation of the energy. We're just starting from the fact that it exists. Okay, so if you have questions, put them in the comments. All right, so let's go on to an overview of approaches. It's very important to understand that when you are healing, you can't just take one little piece of it. That does not generally work, okay? I always give the quick story here of a family member of mine had a very, very dear friend who was diagnosed with a type of cancer. She did all the medical treatments and so on. It wasn't working. As far as I know, she hadn't made any changes. Now, when she was already quite far into her journey, already was having quite negative results, she heard of one herb. It's a great herb. It's a powerful herb, but she just thought, okay, this is going to save me. So one herb late in her journey, not changing anything else. Don't know how much of it she took. She didn't make other changes and it didn't work for her. You need to understand that when you're healing, especially if something has become physical, remember that's almost an end stage. It starts with energy and it goes through phases of creation into like the 3D where it's solid, where we exist, but we started from energy, okay? So you need to take a multi-pronged approach if you truly are serious about healing. All right, I'm going to go through and give you an overview of the different approaches that you can take for your healing. Now, the first thing that I use and recommend, and of course you've spoken with your doctor, you're following their advice, but what I holistically that I have found is the strongest is acupuncture and herbs, but herbs designed for you by a specialist. That is really important. Each of us is different. Each of us is different. So let me show you what I am. This is just a packet here. You can see in this package there are 8 separate different herbs. So quick story, once when I was talking to a medical practitioner years ago about an issue that I was having that I actually overcame, and this female doctor was really stunned and she asked me, well, what herb did you take? And I had to explain to her, the Western system thinks of one magic bullet. Most holistic systems, they give you a blend. Why? You are different than me, so your particular blend of herbs, whether these are powdered already or whether they were fresh herbs, yours is going to be slightly different. So see somebody who is an expert, and in my case, I like the system of Chinese herbs because it is a system that has existed for thousands of years, documented, and is extremely complex, okay? And so I'm just looking at, I'll just tell you one of the herbs that's in here is buplurium, and which is for the liver, okay? And then they have the Chinese name pronounced would be, I guess, chai hu. And then there's other stuff that I can't read. And then there's 7 different herbs just in my formula. So the first thing is consult an herbal professional. That's one step, one approach. Begin also getting acupuncture. Acupuncture, you may not know this, is based on the system related to the chakras that I'm talking to you about. The nadis, right? Remember I said the chakra is like a nexus of energy, and then you have smaller ones. So what do you think those acupuncture points are? They're like little tiny chakras, little tiny energy centers. And when they stick the needle in, it gets the chi, the prana, which is the energy flowing, and opens up the channels. The body can naturally heal if the energy is flowing. So acupuncture would be step 2. Let's keep going with healing the sacral chakra when you have physical issues. The next step that you need to include, and these are not necessarily in any order, but the next thing you need to really look at is your diet. In a couple minutes YouTube video, I cannot give you a diet, and that is not my specific expertise, so I'm not gonna, BS you. But diet, and this is why I know the friend, why it failed for her, the diet is crucial. You're composed of, your physical tissues are made from what you eat. Your physical tissues are made from what you eat. If you eat junk, if you eat crap that has no nutrition, you are literally making a junk body, okay? So you need to look at your diet. I strongly recommend, from my research, a primarily plant-based diet for a number of reasons. Let me know if you want me to go into why I recommend that for most people. Now, notice I said primarily. I do not believe it has to be exclusively, because again, each of us is different. But most of you, let's say all of you, if you eat meat and watching this, you're likely eating too much of the hormone infused stuff that we are fed today, okay? Maybe a few of you are able to get grass-fed organic, but we're also eating too much of it. So again, you need to clean up your diet. For all of you, whatever diet you follow, you can begin by getting rid of all the packaged food with things that your great-grandmother wouldn't recognize. If you think something is food, just think, would my great-grandmother recognize this thing? If I open the package, which is the first problem, you open the package and I put it in front of her, would she understand what this was? Would she understand that this was something for us to eat? And if not, I would say, don't eat that thing. If you show her a banana, likely she'll understand that. You show her an apple or a potato, or even meat, right? She would understand this. But if it's something that you open it up or you read the names and she would just have no idea, then don't put that in your body. So you have to work on your diet. That is crucial, absolutely crucial. And if you're healing, as I said, from my research, you want a diet that is as light, as easy to digest, and as clean as possible. Clean meaning not filled with fake colors, additives, not something made in a lab. So even some vegan foods, like fake meat burgers, I would eliminate that if you're in a healing journey. Okay, so healing the sacral chakra, right? The energy there, your reproductive health, you need to look at your lifestyle. We're going to break lifestyle down, but you need to look at your sleep. If you, like me, before I got ill, and still this is such a battle, we're battling with these brilliant people who hook us on social media, and also the lights that are constantly in our eyes that override our hormonal system and tell us that we should be awake at 1 a.m. You should not be awake at 1 a.m. Your body needs to sleep at that time so all the hormones can do their work of healing, mending, and repair. So you need to adjust and fix your sleep. This is crucial. So you can't be like, I'm just going to make an example, be going to the clubs and just, partying life, maybe smoking, drinking, your diet sucks, and then you're going to take one herb to heal. It will not work. So you need to get your sleep. And then of lifestyle, I'm just writing that. I talked to you about that. You need to get your stress under control. You all know, I really believe meditation, having a therapist, everyone needs a therapist. I don't care how smart you are, how balanced you think you are, you need a therapist, someone to talk to who's a professional, who doesn't judge you and who can help you process what you're going through. And then you certainly also friends that are kind and loving. And I know a lot of us are dealing with loneliness coming out of COVID still. There's still a lot of trauma. So not everybody necessarily has a group of friends that they can get that support from, but work on that, get your stress under control. And the other main thing is meditation. I believe the meditation is key. It's like almost a separate from lifestyle. If you can get your meditation practice going, you will find it has a profound effect on your healing. Okay. So I'm going to put that all under lifestyle, but like I said, meditation could break out into its own category. Let's see. Am I leaving anything out? Let me know in the comments. I want to know what you're doing for your healing of the sacral chakra and the physical health issues that you may be having. And the final thing, before I do sum it up and how you can put this all together, the final thing I would say is emotional healing, because remember I mentioned that it's all energy, right? And the emotions and thoughts. So, and this can be the hardest part for people. I absolutely know that there are folks who do everything. They do every sort of alternative thing. They're doing all of it, but they haven't worked on the emotion. So I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to share my story with what I'm healing right now. I know that emotions caused this particular issue. My fibroids had been stable. Even though I was all stressed during COVID, they were stable. But in the past year, so I did a test, year before, it was fine, stable, nothing. And then now this year is where there's a problem that the medical doctors were seeing, and that they're worried that it, may be something more serious. But what happened in that 1 year between those two tests is that was the year that my best friend became very, very ill and had a horrible process of transitioning. And I was dealing with the stress of that with another individual where we were trying to manage his life. And it was a constant battle. It was very, very painful. And so what I'm saying to you, the reason I'm telling you this story is, I was trying to get the person to help in a particular way. And there was a lot of dragging of their feet, and it just caused a lot of pain for, the person who, my best friend who was dying. So then I became very angry, you guys. So that emotion, anger, and there was nothing I could do. So I had feelings of anger, helplessness, frustration. I could feel the effect in my body. Again, talking to women here, if you can feel it. I believe we feel it more than men physically, because there's just a more intricate connection between our body, mind, and our emotions, and I believe in the male body. So I could feel it. I knew something was going on. First, I was just so upset, and then I could feel physically something was going on. My healing journey, that's why I showed you the herbs I'm taking. And again, these are not just like herbal teas. Don't think just buying a regular over-the-counter herbal tea is going to work, because that's just safe for everybody. It's a low level. When you go to a professional herbalist, they're going to give you something that's really strong and really probably pretty nasty tasting. I just want to tell you. All right. Get your acupuncture. Look for community acupuncture. I know that may not exist where you are, but that's what I'm doing. It's literally was the typical Chinese way. A bunch of people are in a room and they work on a bunch of people at once. And it's cheaper because the person is they're working almost in a group setting. So see if you can find that. You've got to clean up your diet. And most of us know what's in our diet that's bad for us. You know what it is. Either it's cake, like you love cake and you're eating that all the time, or you have a lot of alcohol all the time. You know what it is. Get your sleep in order. Remove stressful people from your life, or reduce your interaction with them greatly. This is for your healing. This is crucial, right? And start meditating. And then get a journal. I have like a couple for different topics, but my personal journal, try to work through the emotions. And again, with a therapist, because it's those emotions, if they keep sort of boiling underneath the surface, then you are literally creating, and this is not woo-woo, you're literally creating the hormones, the cortisol, the fight or flight, the stress. It's like you're giving little stress injections into your body. So it's very hard to heal with that still going on, okay? So I named the 5 different, and like I said, meditation should be its own, but those are the key. Now, if you have questions, put them in the comments. Share with me how you're doing your healing journey, whether it's something serious like cancer, whether you're needing surgery, or whether it's something more mild that you just want to shrink your fibroids, or, get the painful periods. This is valid for all of that. I know another person who seems healthy, but constantly has troubles with the reproductive system. So that tells me and their energy is very low, they could still put some of these steps into place to heal. But a lot of times we get used to it. So Goddess, I ask you, are you just used to having problems every month? Or are you used to your problems? And so you're not being proactive? And that was my case. I lost focus on myself. So for all of you, before I close, I want to ask you this question. Typically women having trouble with their sacral chakra are givers. You are giving to others, but you're not taking care of yourself. You're not giving the same love, attention, nurturing to yourself, okay? Also, there's often a lack of joy, because that's that emotion of pleasure and joy in your life, again, because often you're striving to meet the needs of others, and you might also feel underappreciated, all right? So if you are interested, my meditation series, the 8-week series, will be starting again in January of 2024, or depending when you watch this, check for links below. You can also have a consult with me where I can really help you with the lifestyle. And let me know if you want me to go deeper into the lifestyle, for example, their breathing practices. Let me know if you want me to break out any of this into more detail, okay? And I will do that for you. Please give the video a thumbs up if you got any value out of this, and subscribe if you are not already subscribed. So right now, I will give you updates on my healing journey. I have definitely lost weight, and for my particular problem, it's estrogen caused. And so losing fat is always helpful with that, because there's a connection with fat and estrogen storage. And so what I've been doing, I've definitely lost some fat right off my waist, and it's really interesting because it feels like it's kind of melting off. I am also not at this point going for surgery because I'm doing all of these steps. All right, so sending you love and blessings. And if you'd like to work with me, especially to get your lifestyle and meditation stuff in order, then the links will be below. Mwah. Much love, stay blissed and blessed. Bye-bye.